Do you ever wonder why some people are more likable than others? Well, the answer often lies in the subtle art of social interaction. Every day, we engage in countless interactions, each filled with unspoken rules and hidden pitfalls. These are the social mistakes, the missteps we unknowingly make that can tarnish our likability. Think of them as the invisible barriers that separate the charismatic from the awkward, the beloved from the avoided. You may not even realize you're committing these errors, but they can dramatically alter how others perceive you. From dominating conversations to ignoring boundaries, from being overly negative to being inauthentic, and finally, displaying a lack of empathy. These are the 5 most common social mistakes that can make you extremely unlikable. Uncovering these mistakes is the first step towards improving your social skills and becoming more likable. So, are you ready for this journey of self-discovery? Let's dive into the world of social faux pas and uncover the 5 most common social mistakes that can make you extremely unlikable. Scene script? Ever been in a conversation where you can't get a word in edgewise? That's our first social mistake, dominating conversations. We've all been there. You're in a conversation and there's that one person who just won't stop talking. It's as if they've got a megaphone and everyone else is on mute. This, my friends, is the social blunder we're addressing today, dominating conversations. So why is it a mistake? Well, conversation is a two-way street. It's about exchange, understanding, and connection. When someone monopolizes the conversation, they're essentially turning a dialogue into a monologue. They're not only hogging the spotlight, but also denying others the chance to express their thoughts and feelings. It's like being at a concert where only one instrument is playing. It's just not as rich and harmonious as it could be. How does this behavior affect others? Imagine being in a conversation where you're constantly interrupted or worse, ignored. It's frustrating, isn't it? It can make you feel invisible, unimportant. Over time, people may start avoiding conversations with the person who dominates them, leading to isolation and strained relationships. But hey, we're all here to learn and grow, right? So how can we avoid this social pitfall? The answer is simple. Practice active listening. This means fully focusing on the speaker, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Show interest in what others are saying, ask follow-up questions, validate their thoughts and feelings. It's not just about hearing, but understanding. Another tip is to be mindful of the time you're taking up in a conversation. If you've been speaking for a while, take a pause. Invite others to share their thoughts. Remember, everyone has a unique perspective to offer, and we can learn so much if we're open to listening. In the end, it all boils down to respect and empathy. Respecting others' right to express themselves and empathizing with their desire to be heard. Because that's the essence of good conversation. It's a dance of words where everyone gets a turn to lead. Remember, the art of conversation lies in balance. Listen as much as you speak. Ever felt uncomfortable because someone's invading your personal space? That brings us to mistake number 2, ignoring boundaries. Boundaries are like invisible bubbles that we all have around us. They can be physical, defining our personal space, or emotional, protecting our feelings and privacy. Ignoring these boundaries is a social mistake that can make you seem intrusive or insensitive and could lead to strained relationships. Let's talk about physical boundaries first. We all have a comfort zone when it comes to personal space. Some people might be okay with a friendly pat on the back, while others might prefer a simple nod. Respecting these boundaries means understanding and adhering to what makes others comfortable. Ignoring them, on the other hand, can make people feel invaded and uncomfortable. Moving on to emotional boundaries, these are a bit more complex. Emotional boundaries involve respecting others' feelings, thoughts, and experiences. It's about not prying into someone's personal matters unless invited, and not imposing your own emotions or experiences onto them. Ignoring emotional boundaries can lead to feelings of violation and discomfort, and can quickly make you seem overbearing and unlikable. So, how can we be more mindful of these boundaries? It starts with observation and active listening. Pay attention to body language and verbal cues. If someone steps back when you step forward, that's a signal you might be invading their personal space. If they seem uncomfortable discussing a certain topic, change the subject. It's also a good practice to ask for permission before delving into personal matters. A simple, "Is it okay if we talk about this?" can go a long way. Remember, respecting others' boundaries doesn't mean being distant or aloof. It's about creating a safe and comfortable environment for everyone. It's about understanding that just like you, others too have their comfort zones and private matters that they may or may not want to share. Respecting boundaries is all about acknowledging and valuing other people's comfort and feelings. No one likes a Debbie Downer, right? That's social mistake number 3, being negative. We've all met that person who can't seem to see the silver lining, the one who finds a problem for every solution and who seems to thrive on the darker side of life. A constant stream of negativity can be draining. It's like that little dark cloud that follows you around, raining on your parade. But why is being negative such a social faux pas? Well, it's simple. Negativity breeds negativity. It's infectious, like a virus. And just like a virus, it spreads, affecting not just the person who is negative, but also those around them. It's a downward spiral that can lead to damaged relationships and a negative perception of oneself. When we're constantly negative, we tend to focus on the wrong things. We magnify our problems, making them seem bigger and more insurmountable than they really are. This can lead to a state of helplessness, where we feel like there's nothing we can do to change our circumstances. But the good news is, it's not a life sentence. We can learn to cultivate a more positive attitude. It starts with self-awareness. Recognizing when we're being negative is the first step towards change. Once we're aware, we can start to shift our focus. Instead of dwelling on the negatives, we can start looking for the positives. And it's not about ignoring the negatives or pretending they don't exist. It's about finding a balance. It's about understanding that life has ups and downs, and that's okay. It's about learning to navigate these ups and downs with grace and resilience. Creating a positive mindset takes practice. It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And just like working out, it's hard at first, but with time, it gets easier. So the next time you find yourself slipping into negativity, remember this. We have the power to choose our response. We can choose to be negative, or we can choose to be positive. Positivity is infectious. Spread good vibes and watch your likability soar. Ever felt like someone's not being their true self? That's social mistake number 4, being inauthentic. We've all been there. When you're in a conversation with someone who just doesn't seem genuine. It's like they're wearing a mask, hiding their real self. It's off-putting, right? That's because authenticity is a key ingredient in building trust and rapport in social interactions. Let's delve a bit deeper. Why is being inauthentic a social mistake? Well, inauthenticity creates a barrier, a wall between you and the person you're interacting with. It's like trying to connect with a character in a play, rather than a real person. It can make the other person feel uneasy, and even question your motives. The truth is, people are pretty good at sensing when someone is not being genuine. So how can you be more authentic? It starts with self-awareness. Recognize and accept your strengths and weaknesses, your passions and fears. Embrace who you are, warts and all. There's no need to pretend to be someone you're not. Everyone has unique traits and experiences that make them who they are. Next, be true to your words. If you say something, mean it. Don't just say things because you think it's what the other person wants to hear. Honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, is a mark of authenticity. Lastly, let your actions speak for your character. Actions often speak louder than words. If you promise to do something, follow through with it. If you claim to value a certain principle, let your behavior reflect that. Remember, authenticity doesn't mean oversharing or being bluntly honest to the point of rudeness. It's about being real, being you. It's about showing respect for others by being honest, reliable, and true to yourself. So, the next time you find yourself in a social setting, don't hide behind a facade. Be genuine. Be you. It's not only more enjoyable for you, but it also makes you much more likable to others. Being genuine is the cornerstone of likability. Show the world your true self. Ever felt like someone just doesn't understand you? That's our final social mistake. Lack of empathy. Empathy, my friends, is more than just a fancy word. It is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. And in social interactions, it's like a secret superpower. When you lack empathy, you're like a ship without a compass, unable to navigate the emotional seas of those around you. It can lead to misunderstandings, hurt feelings, and ultimately, make you seem unlikable. But why is that? Well, it's simple. We all want to be understood, to be seen, to be heard. Now you may be wondering, how do we develop more empathy? Start by actively listening, not just hearing. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Ask questions to better understand their perspective. Remember, it's not about agreeing, it's about understanding. Empathy is the key to understanding others and being more likable. So, there you have it. The 5 social mistakes that can make you extremely unlikable. Let's take a quick look back. Dominating conversations can make others feel unheard and unimportant. Ignoring boundaries can lead to discomfort and a lack of trust. Being negative can drain the energy from any social interaction, making it unenjoyable for everyone involved. Being inauthentic can make it hard for others to connect with you on a deeper level. And lastly, a lack of empathy can make others feel undervalued and unappreciated. The impacts of these social mistakes on likability are profound. But it's never too late to change. Reflect on your own social behaviors. Are you guilty of any of these social faux pas? If so, it's time to turn the page and start a new chapter. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. The key is to learn from them and strive to be better. Until next time, keep working on your social skills and stay likable.